In this video, I'm going to talk about the best budget Mac for video editors. So I've been using the M1 MacBook Air for the last few years. I actually bought the M1 MacBook Pro and used it for a year and then sold it and kept this one, and I've been using it ever since. I don't think this computer is a lot better, but it works fine and I can do pretty much everything I was doing on the M1 Pro. Except I can't have a whole lot of programs open at once, but it's fine. Like I just deal with that, but I do want to upgrade to another computer in the future. If you're looking to get a new computer right now, I think that the options right now are pretty terrible. I would say the M3, the base model, is pretty cool, but the fact that you only get 8 gigabytes of RAM, and if you upgrade, it's the same price as the M3 Pro, and then the M3 Pro isn't, it's like the same speed as last year's M2 Pro. I would not get any of the M3 series unless you have a ton of money and you're just gonna get the Pro Max and max it out and get everything with that computer. Like in that case, like it's perfect for video editors. So let's just make this really simple. So I would say 3 options. Get the M2 MacBook Air, get 16 gigabytes of RAM, and make sure you get it discounted. You don't want to pay full price for this because it's not really worth it. That's what I would recommend first option. If you don't have an external monitor, get the 15-inch, but for most people, I actually prefer the 13-inch because it's so much easier to take around with me. It's easier to move around in like the living area. It's not as heavy and clunky and chunky. Just get the 13-inch version. I think it's perfectly fine. The second option that I would get is, I would say if you're on a budget, just get the Mac Mini, get the M2 model, and make sure you get 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you want 512 gigabyte SSD. I know that kind of bumps the price up a little bit, but I think that's kind of like the best budget option. Now, if you have a little bit more money to spend, I would get the M2 Pro Mac Mini. This is going to be just as fast as the M3 Pro right now, or faster. In a lot of ways, it's going to have better performance than the M3 Pro. And so I would say that is kind of the best deal that you can find right now. It's not going to be the best for gaming, but if you're just doing like video editing, I think the M3 Pro is pretty stellar and it's really cheap. Anything other than that, like you don't need to go M3. You could go, like, if you want to spend more money, I would get the Mac Studio because you're saving a ton of money by not getting a monitor. And I know that some of these options don't come with a monitor, but I think that's kind of the best bang for your dollar. So yeah, I think those are the best options: the M2 MacBook Air, the M2 Mac Mini, or the M2 Mac Mini Pro, which is the M2 Pro. Now, a lot of people might be saying that you actually get more RAM out of the 8 gigabytes with the base model M3 MacBook Pro, but I would say you probably don't get that much memory boost. And if you can handle just doing like small, simple tasks, like that's completely fine. I think the M3 Pro is great if you can if you're just working like 2 or 3 big programs, maybe you're using Final Cut and Lightroom and you don't open anything else, then that's totally fine. Get the base model M3 MacBook Pro. But I think the best option really, if you want to get the newest M3 chip, I would just wait until the M3 MacBook Air comes out or the M3 Mac Mini. I think those are going to be the best buys if you can probably just wait a little bit longer. So that's just kind of my opinion on it. I don't think the M3 series are that much of an improvement from the M2 series. The base model M3 series is definitely a huge improvement from the M2. So I would say if you can get the base model and you can get it at a good price with 16 gigabytes of RAM, I think for video editors, that's going to be like a perfectly decent machine. But if you are noticing that the price is close to the M3 Pro, then I would just get the M2, right? The M2 Pro with the Mac Mini or the M2 MacBook Pro. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.